Bonjour à tous and welcome to this lesson on French negatives. Up until now we've been discussing how to negate verbs in simple tenses and in compound tenses. What we haven't spoken about is how we negate an infinitive, a verb with no tense, and that is the topic of this video. So do make sure that you're familiar with normal negation with simple tenses and compound tenses, parapluie, jamais, rien, etc. But if you're happy with all of that, let's get straight into it. So if you've ever been to France or another French-speaking country, you've probably seen some signs that look a little bit like this. Merci de ne pas fumer, ne pas toucher, ne pas dépasser cette limite, ne pas déranger. Now, first of all, you might look at these and think, why are we using an infinitive? Why are we not using the imperative? After all, these are commands. Do not smoke, do not touch, do not go beyond this point, do not disturb. Well, in French, using the imperative in that sense is a little bit too personal, right? That doesn't mean to say that no sign ever uses the imperative, but generally signs like this use the infinitive just to distance themselves a little bit. Regardless of all that, though, you might also wonder, why have we got ne pas toucher? Why is it not ne touchez pas? After all, normally what we do is take the ne, then the verb, and then the negative. But that is exactly the point. The ne and the negative word come before. That's the case for pas, jamais, rien, and plus. So rather than surrounding the infinitive, we will say ne pas infinitive, ne jamais infinitive, ne rien infinitive, ne plus infinitive. So here's some examples. Il m'a dit de ne pas parler, meaning he told me not to speak. Ne jamais dire jamais, never say never. This is another one of those not imperative commands, right? Because to say ne dis jamais jamais is A, a little bit weird, and B, is a little bit too personal, right? J'essaie de ne rien faire. I'm trying not to do anything. And elle a décidé de ne plus fumer. She decided not to smoke anymore. So in all of these expressions, we have an infinitive that we want to negate, and in order to negate that infinitive, we put the ne and the negative adverb in front of it. That isn't the case though for personne and nulle part. Remember, these two behave in their own way normally, and they behave in their own way with infinitives as well. These will go in the same place that they do in compound tenses. Take for example, j'ai promis de ne parler à personne. So the ne goes before the verb and personne goes in place of the object. That means I promised not to speak to anyone. And likewise, on finit par n'aller nulle part, we end up going nowhere or we end up not going anywhere. Again, we have the ne before the verb and the nulle part after it. So personne and nulle part pretty much behave in the same way all the time, but all of the others will go before the infinitive. And there we go. Negatives do behave very slightly differently with infinitives, but only very slightly, and once you get your head around that idea of putting the whole negative before, in most cases, then it shouldn't be too difficult to grasp. Having said that, if you are having difficulties, please do let me know and I'll do my best to help you. Thank you very much for watching, and à bientôt.